Have you ever heard the term "don't bonk"? You kind of wondered what that actually meant? Today you're going to find out. Bonk. Oh, and he's a crammer. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined today once again by my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Good morning.
All right, you crammer, you. It's got such a multi-purpose meaning there.
I don't
deny it?
Don't deny it.
Don't deny it. All right, we're coming to you once again from Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. And I'm happy to be here because, like I always say, it's where the cool kids hang out, and me. So you might be wondering, like I said, the term bonk. Brandon, what does bonk mean? And I don't mean like bonk on the head.
Bonking is a terrible thing. I think we've all done
well,
it.
Hey, dude, I've been bonking from an early age, so.
Bonking is that terrible fatigue feeling that you get. It happens when we run low on carbs.
Right.
We are gonna deplete the glycogen in our muscles, and then our blood sugar will also go down, and we're going to actually feel terrible. That's when we get dropped. We don't want to get dropped.
Nope, don't want to get dropped, because then everybody makes fun of you until the next ride, and you have to redeem yourself at some point.
Yeah.
So
let's today just talk about not getting dropped.
Not getting dropped. There's all different. Again, this is, you're getting dropped by the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the boss, all kinds. But today we're talking about, and this is going to be very basic, guys. So I don't want anybody to blow up the comments, not that anybody really even comments or anything like that. It's another story altogether. But don't blow up the comments and how we forgot this or how we forgot that.
It is so complex.
Yeah. And
your head can swim going into nutrition facts and things like that. So
yeah, it's a rabbit hole. And not the good rabbit hole you find in Vegas for the right price. I'm talking about sleep deprivation. Well, I guess you can get sleep deprivation in Vegas too, with the rabbit hole. So, but this is going to be very basic for those people who like to enjoy the weekend rides. This even applies for hiking or anything that you would do out on the trail in general, as far as that goes. So, some basic nutrition facts and everything. Now, in the coming months, weeks, Brandon and I have talked about maybe diving deeper into this. We'll see how it goes. Because he's a crammer, and I'll come with a PowerPoint spreadsheet and everything, and so we'll take it from we'll see what it goes. So, and just to let you guys know, okay, it's not a requirement, but having a little coffee beforehand, and then you have that cold coffee waiting for you afterwards, it'll help. So yeah. All right, Brandon, get us started.
All right. Well, the first thing that we need to know is that
it's not you making me crazy, by the way.
Damn it, I love that.
I know you do. I was so tempted. All right.
So, a lot of times, the real probably danger of nutrition is overdoing nutrition.
Right.
What I can mostly figure out is that we don't really need to pile up on supplements before our ride, provided that say we're going for an early morning ride. If we've had a good nutritious meal the night before, you don't need to dive into supplements until about an hour into your ride.
Right.
Carbs will be piled up. You're going to be depleting those carbs first. What we don't want to do is overcarb. That's going to lead to a whole nother issue, which is you could feel you could feel like a little bit ill, a little bit of nausea, because your body starts storing carbohydrates. We don't want that. So don't start diving into these things once again until about an hour into your ride. And if you rise maybe in the mid part of the day when you haven't had breakfast, maybe think about getting like a Kate's bar, like this guy.
Okay.
Just to store up a little bit of carbs later in the day. This one has about 20 carbs in it, and it's all about carbohydrates. I'm coming to find out. So that'll get you started on your ride, and then dive into something else with a few more carbs later on. What they recommend is, if you're doing a normal effort ride, about 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour for a normal ride. If you're really hammering, if you're really getting after, if you're trying to keep up with those really fast guys, maybe 40 to 60 grams of carbs per hour. Just to give you an idea what these supplements do, these little hammer gels and these little goo gels have about 22 grams of carbs per shot.
Right.
So if you're really hammering, you might need 2 of these per hour to not bonk. And that's the point of all this.
So these are the ones I use. I can't speak on those, but these are the ones I use. They come in a variety of different flavors, and I do believe the salted caramel is absolutely the best one. But I'll have these in just little pockets and everything like that, so they're easy to access, easy to do on the trail. But I actually use these during my Spartan races too.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, you know, so these are really good, guys.
And
they
that's
work
key.
really
They
well.
don't carry the carbs maybe as many as you need, but the ease of taking them
Convenient.
is fantastic. You
Yeah.
can go, you know, rip it off your teeth. It'll stay, the packaging will stay on there. You don't have to worry about littering. You just throw that in your pocket later on and you're good to go.
Just remember it's in your pocket or it will make a gooey, sticky mess.
It does, for sure. And I pulled out my favorite hammer, the espresso, 50 milligrams of caffeine.
Why am I not
It's
surprised?
a straight kick to your ass, so it's really good. I like that a lot. Especially, I don't do well talking about those early morning rides. I don't like to eat in the morning, and I don't like to drink very early in the morning, coffee. So one of these guys seems to be pretty good after I've been in it a little bit.
Right.
And I take one of these guys and I'll get my caffeine fix, and I'll get a little bit of those carbs for the rest of the ride.
Gotcha. And so everybody's different. Brandon also brings up a good point. So I don't eat breakfast before every ride. It just really
can't.
depends.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be, if it's rides close to the house, I'll skip breakfast. But I know if I'm driving, say, up north, hour and a half, 2 hours from the time I wake up, I'll eat just a little something, not something heavy.
That's perfect.
Just to kind of get everything kick-started and ready to go.
Absolutely.
So any of you guys that have watched the trail videos, I know there's not many of you, but I always joke about the inner fat kid wants to eat and everything. This is basically what I'm talking about. I mean, I do have an inner fat kid, obviously, as you guys can see, and we debated whether or not we were going to do the truffle shuffle in the beginning of this video.
Do it.
Decided not to.
Do it.
It's hard enough to get you guys to stay. We don't want to scare you like. But this is what I'm talking about, that inner fat kid. All right, blocks.
So keeping us up, blocks.
I love the blocks.
They're also fairly convenient to eat. You can rip the top up and then you can like Pez
Yeah.
push these guys up.
They're like
and
little
go
gummies.
after them. They're not, even though we lack a little bit of convenience, they don't contain more carbs in this particular case, the Cliff Shot blocks, as the gels do.
Right.
So it all depends on what you like better.
Right.
And then if we get to like the honey stingers, this has 40 grams of carb in this bag. So this is the best bang for your buck. But riding with this, you want to make sure it's already open, ready to go while you're going, and maybe just take them, you know, a little bit at a time. But this is a good bang for your buck at 40 carbs per packaging. That'll keep you going. Once again, 30 to 60 or 30 to 40, 40 to 60 grams per hour if you're hammering. What is the constant is hydration.
Yeah.
So water is always the best thing, I feel like. I just drink water. If you do like a little bit of taste with it, you have to be careful because a lot of these guys also contain carbs. If you were to combine these carbs with these carbs, you might start feeling ill.
Right.
So it is a little bit important to take a look at what you're consuming just to make sure you don't feel sick afterwards. I'm just a water guy. I just drink water all the time.
and I do the same.
It's,
So
that feels great.
So now here's another thing too. Depending on who you are, your body type, and you know, obviously your physiology, some people are gonna sweat and dehydrate faster than others. That's just a fact. I was in Sedona for the last trail video, and it expressly said that the first one, hydration, and their recommendation was a gallon of water per day if you were going to be hiking the trails. Guys, now Arizona's, I don't want to say unique, but we do have a lot of hot weather here. In other parts of the country, it may not be as hot, but more humid, so you're still going to be sweating. Remember to hydrate. You can get heat exhaustion. You can get by not eating. Make it back to your vehicle. You dehydrate on the trail and stroke out from the heat, you're fucked. So don't get something tiny like this, Mr. Brandon. Remember, you need I carry 3 liters for a reason. No, I'm joking. It just depends. But yes, hydration is key. Do not, if you're going to forget anything, don't let it be your water.
For before your exercise, recommendation is about 16 ounces just before your exercise.
Right.
And just to give you an idea, this is 21 ounces.
Right.
So a little bit less than that before your exercise, and then continue hydrating as you go. Right.
Pre-hydrate. And
That's a pre-hydrate, exactly.
yeah, you're
16
pre-hydrating.
ounces,
And the
thank
night before, you're going to pre-hydrate and everything. Just to give you an example, even on my quote-unquote sedentary days, I probably take in 120 to 160 ounces of fluid. You know, majority of that is water in my water bottle, but I mean coffee. And we'll have a whole different thing on hydration and the myths of hydration on a different show later, because there's a lot of myths about it. But yes, so pre-hydrate, very, very important.
So we've gone through a ride. That's fantastic. What you should do, they do make a product like this called the Recovery Ride. There's so many, and again, I got to reiterate, this is just
Tip of the iceberg.
God, there's so many products out there.
Nature Valley granola bars are good.
Those are good too.
Banana's
We've been
good.
eating them forever. Banana's fantastic.
So.
And everybody's different. We got to go back to that. This might make somebody nauseated with the caffeine. It doesn't affect me, but it's important also, especially if you're into training for an event. If you got a big ride coming up that's for a charity or something like that, do some test runs, see what's going to work for you. Not everybody's the same. That's what makes kind of this segment a little hard, because what's going to work for me is not going to work for you, is not going to work for them.
It's not.
So you have to experiment a little bit. Once we get that dialed in for every individual, again, we make it, there's a recovery supplements out there as well. Really what you can do, just have a good meal afterwards.
Pop-Tarts.
A good, well,
chocolate milk.
Don't get me wrong, I freaking love Pop-Tarts, but a well-balanced meal after your ride will be just fine, and get you back on track, and replenish everything, all your nutrients.
Because you have about an hour's window after your ride or any activity, whether you're hiking, lifting, anything like that. You got about that hour window where your muscles and your body receptors are open to be replenished at their optimum. So you really want to try to hit that window. Now, riding here locally, I know I can get home, get my gear unpacked, and get a meal in before that hour time's elapsed. If I'm going up north, I always make sure I have some good healthy snacks initially when I get back to my vehicle, until I can get home or to a place that I can get something with a little bit more sustenance as far as that goes. So it is important, because if you don't replenish what you've just burned, you're going to feel sluggish, and your body's not going to recover properly. Additional soreness wasn't necessarily going to be a factor, but now it is. So again, there's all different types of things that you want to take into account when you're doing this. So
for sure, good basics.
Definitely good basics, and
pre-hydrate, hydrate. Don't overdo it with the carbs. You'll be just fine.
And recovery. So, and I joke around about the Pop-Tarts and stuff, although I do it every once in a while. And the reason, it's a quick burn sugar. So you're going to replenish your carbs that you've burned out, but the sugars are going to burn really quick. So the sugar won't actually turn into insulin, which will get stored as fat. So I wouldn't eat a Pop-Tart at 8 o'clock at night. It just, dude, if I look at something past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my ass gets fat. So it just, again, different body chemistry and everything like that. So
and the thing when we talk about normal foods, like what I can, sort of normal foods, when we talk about these guys are engineered to almost instantly work.
Yeah.
They have complex carbohydrates. They have a number of other things, amino acids, things like that. That'll really hit your system fast.
Right.
Which you may need to hang on.
Right. No,
you
it's
may not
true.
have a time for a banana or something more wholesome, shall we say, to take effect. So that's why these things are kind of cool.
Yeah, it's an instant shot. And there are things too in the beginning. I mean, complex carbohydrates have a slower burn. So you can eat something, if you're a breakfast person and you have the time, you can eat a bowl of steel cut oatmeal. Those complex carbs, just a quarter cup serving is really going to help sustain you for that first portion of the ride. And as you're burning those, now you have something in place to where you can keep that going. So yeah, it's all different kind of things. And Brandon and I are not nutritionists. We just know what works for us and for other people that we've talked to and everything like that. So that's it. And coffee. Don't forget the coffee. Now you guys might be wondering why I don't actually have my Yeti cup. It's because I left it at home, so I'm stuck with a Circle K cup.
Man, where's your mojo? Surprised you can operate.
Right? At least I got coffee, though. They ran out of French vanilla creamer, though, so this is actually cut with some French vanilla creamer and half. So it tastes like shit. It's Circle K coffee. It's going to taste like shit anyways, but better than that than friggin', being in a homicidal rage on my way to the camera shop from here. So that would be bad. Don't need to be on the nightly news for that. So, all right. Well, there you have it, folks. Very basic, scratching the surface as far as nutrition and what you can do to prevent from bonking on a ride, being dropped by the pack, and then being relentlessly made fun of, not only back at the vehicles, but in memes and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about today, even if it's something related to nutrition but we didn't cover it, please ask down below. We'll be more than happy to either answer that for you or get you a link to proper information on that. Because again, there's a lot of stuff to go over. If you guys want to see an additional episode where maybe we dive a little bit deeper into nutrition, macros, the night before, the night after your ride too, which is also important because you need restorative rest, regardless if you're doing it in the morning. Oh, son of a bitch. We can't win sometimes. That happened a little fast too. Usually it takes longer. That must be telling us something.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comments below. We'll definitely work on another episode for you, because this is really important. You can have the flashiest bike and the coolest gear and everything like that, but if you can't pedal the distance, you know, what's the point? So, and you could run into some problems if you really crash out on the trail. Physically, not necessarily, you know, eat shit, take a crash. You can be in a world of hurt, especially if you're in a place with no cell service.
No fun.
Trails not, you know, frequented by a lot of people and everything. So, but that's a different story for another day. Anyways, all right, guys. So you made it this far, and we really appreciate it. So now I'm going to ask for you to hit the like and subscribe button and the bell notification icon, so that way any of our future episodes, you'll be one of the first people to know. I also want to make point that there's a link down below for Trek Bicycle Store West Phoenix. And if you have any questions, either related today or any bicycling questions at all, mountain biking, road biking, e-biking, cruiser biking.
Yeah, don't ask me about three-wheel bikes, though.
Why? So now the first person that calls the shop and asks Brandon for about three-wheel bikes, you get a gift card. $25 gift card, seriously, guys. Just to do it. But I need proof. I need proof of harassment, so... No, seriously, but harass them. It's fun. I do it all the time. Anyways, click that link, call up the shop. Brandon, the guys, everybody here are great. Get all your questions answered. We'll also want you to follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, and those links are down below as well. And we'll have some links down so you can get some more information on these items that we have in the video, and you'll be armed with good information. Those aren't affiliate links, though. I got to let you know that. So we receive no monetary compensation at all. And that's why we ask you to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel out. So, Brandon, on that note, anything you want to add?
Let's go get some French toast.
French toast? Dude, I haven't had French toast in a while. That actually sounds good with some bacon.
Yeah, looking at this stuff makes me sick.
Right. Yeah, it's for show, guys. We don't do any of this stuff on the trail. We have Ziploc bags with friggin' French toast and bacon and everything as we're eating on the trail. No, I'm joking. That's after the ride at Village Inn. Yeah, Village Inn sounds good.
Village Inn,
yeah, definitely not friggin' Denny's, though. All right, enough, guys. So, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others, and be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for? Brandon.
Get out of Arizona.
Yeah. We will see you on that next adventure.
So long.
Brandon, thank you very much.
Man.
We'll see you guys next week.